Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13 is resolutions and motions by council members. Item 13A is a resolution calling a public hearing to determine whether the structures located at 1235 Roosevelt Boulevard, Kenner, Louisiana, shall be abated by repair, rehabilitation, demolition, or removal. I have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 13B is a resolution appointing Ryan N. Cox as court magistrate for the City of Kenner Mayor's Court. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Lahat. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 14 is items removed from the consent agenda. We have none. Item 15 is acceptance of contracts and similar matters approved by the mayor. Item 15A is summary ordinance number 13,683, an ordinance authorizing utilization of state contract number 4400030797 with Lee Tractor Company Incorporated to purchase industrial equipment on an as-needed basis in an amount not to exceed $600,000 annually for the Fleet Management Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Brennan, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15B is summary ordinance number 13,684, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Gulf States Distributors to purchase 25 Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm compact semi-automatic pistols and related accessories in accordance with electronic bid 24-2147 in the amount of $12,725 for the Kenner Police Department. I have a motion by Councilmember Lahat, seconded by Councilmember Brannigan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15C is summary ordinance number 13,685, an ordinance ratifying an emergency repair of the Fairbanks Morse submersible pump number 2 located at 31st and Washington Lift Station by Fluid Process and Pumps LLC in the amount of $19,870 for the wastewater department. Have a motion by Councilmember Wilmot, seconded by Councilmember Sharwood. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15D is summary ordinance number 13,686, an ordinance approving amendment number 1 to the agreement with Christmas Village LLC to supply Christmas lights as needed to increase the agreement amount by $40,000 for a new not-to-exceed amount of $90,000 annually for the General Services Department. Have a motion by Councilmember Dunn, seconded by Councilmember Wilmot. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15E is summary ordinance number 13,687, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from BGS LLC for the purchase of 110 fire hoses in accordance with electronic bid 24-2146 in an amount not to exceed $20,416 for the Kenner Fire Department. Have a motion by Councilmember Sharwood, seconded by Councilmember Dunn. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15F is summary ordinance number 13,689, an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid proposal received from Lamarck Ford to furnish 2022 used vehicles in the amount of $61,760 for the Kenner Police Department. Have a motion by Councilmember McKinney, seconded by Councilmember Brennan. All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 15G is summary ordinance number 13,690, and an ordinance approving an agreement with the Louisiana Department of Transportation and Development, state project number H.013370, federal aid project number H013370 regarding LA 48 Kenner Levee Trailhead Expansion Improvement Project. Have a motion by Councilmember Brannigan, seconded by Councilmember McKinney. Councilman Wilmot.
Yes, if I can just get an explanation on this one.
Yes, Councilman, this is an all grant that dates back to September of 2017. Our prior administration had secured the grant, however, no action had been taken to move forward with the project. And when this matter was brought up by a DOTD engineer to the current administration as to what we wanted to do with that grant was whether the city was still interested in securing the grant or not. Our response, of course, was yes. We wanted to go ahead and proceed with the grant, and in order to be able to proceed with the grant, we had to update the cost of the grant. So the grant went up from $200 and some more thousand dollars to $800 and some more thousand dollars. So in order to be able to activate this grant, we need a state-city agreement, and this is what this legislation does, allow us to proceed with the grant, and it will allow us to proceed with the selection of a consultant that's going to provide the necessary design services for a number of improvements that are going to take place at the LaSalle Landing. That's a new bathroom facility, restoration of a river observatory, a new bus shelter, a new drinking water fountain, new sidewalks, some bench repair work, a bicycle station, and all the miscellaneous electrical work. It's a good thing for the city.
Very thorough as usual. Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
All council members in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, please say nay. Seeing none, motion passes 7-0. Item 16 is ordinances and resolutions in summary for first reading. Item 16A is an ordinance accepting the lowest responsive bid received from Fleming Construction Company, LLC for the 42nd and Lake Trail and 31st and Loyola Sewer Lift Station improvements in the amount of $415,473 in accordance with seal bid number 24-6843 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16B is an ordinance approving an agreement with Design Engineering Incorporated for professional engineering services on an as-needed basis for an amount not to exceed $49,500 for the Department of Public Works. Item 16C is an ordinance approving an agreement for consulting services with Conick and Associates, LLC, and an amount not to exceed $120,000 annually for the Kenner Police Department. Item 16D is an ordinance approving a cooperative endeavor agreement with the Louisiana Department of Treasury and the State of Louisiana and the City of Kenner for road repairs and improvements to Roosevelt Boulevard. Item 16E is an ordinance ratifying an emergency repair of fire engine 378 located at Fire Station 37 by Kenworth of Louisiana in the amount of $64,357.51 for the Kenner Fire Department. Item 16F is an ordinance ratifying an emergency repair of Vintage and Medoc Lift Station Pump Number 2 by Fluid Processing Pumps, LLC, a sole source provider, in the amount of $23,570 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16G is an ordinance approving amendment number 1 with MSMM Engineering, LLC, associated with the 42nd and Lake Trail and 31st and Loyola Sewer Lift Station Improvements Project to extend the term of the agreement to December 31st, 2026, and to add resident inspection services in the amount of $28,980, which increases the total amount of the agreement to $101,028 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16H is an ordinance ratifying an emergency repair of the wastewater treatment plant sludge conveyor belt by Serpentex Conveyor Corporation, a sole source provider of Serpentex parts and equipment, in the amount of $170,415.39 for the Department of Wastewater. Item 16I is an ordinance approving a sub-recipient agreement between the City of Kenner and Volunteers of America Southeast Louisiana in an amount not to exceed $85,000 for the Community Development Department. Item 16J is an ordinance accepting the dedication of Winning Way. Item 17 is reports from the council and our special committees. Councilman Lahat?
Yeah, I just want to say we had the ribbon cutting for the completion of the Power Boulevard expansion project on Monday. It's beautiful. It was timely done within about a year. I want to thank the Public Works Department, Jose, for all the questions I had over the time when that project proceeded. We had a lot of public and community input from the local Palm Vista Association and Driftwood. It's got beautiful lights. It's a great place to walk your dog, go for a run. It interconnects to Jefferson Parish now with that project from District 4 in Jefferson. And I'm glad it's finally done, but thank everybody, especially Cass Construction, which was the contractor on the project.
Item 18 is new business. We have none. Item 19 is unfinished business and motions to reconsider or remove from the tabled position. We have none. Item 20 is persons wishing to address the council on special subject matters.
Mr. Margaret Wagner. Yes.
Please approach the podium and you'll have 3 minutes. State your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Margaret Wagner. I live at 5212 Toby Lane. between West Esplanade and the canal. I'm just calling today to thank whoever was responsible for the lovely median that was improved on Power Boulevard. It's exceptional, and also the walking path between Wilson and Power Boulevard is another exceptional thing. Everybody's using it and everybody's bragging about it. It's looked very safe. There's so many lights around there. And the only thing I have to ask is there is a trash can next to Power on the walking path. I'm not sure about Wilson, but people are throwing trash in there and it has not been opened for I don't know how long. I took my trash bags this morning to go and see if I could clear it up and open the top, and there's a huge black bag in there that's been really tied up, and I couldn't pick it up. It was so heavy. So obviously it has not been emptied. And I took everything off the top and bought my trash bags and put them in trash bags and took them back to my house. So that's the only thing I would like to see if someone could address that. I don't know who's supposed to pick it up or what, but we dearly need someone to do that. And I want to thank you again. Everything looks lovely, and we all appreciate it. Thank you.
Councilman, we'll have the Public Works Department go ahead and do an investigation and pick up the
Where
garbage.
where that trash can is, I'm not sure exactly.
Me neither, but we'll locate
Okay.
it.
And thank you. I appreciate you coming up and I love it too. It's a beautiful area now. Thank you.
It's the trash can, I'm sure, at the foot of the bridge.
By the bridge, the vintage connection? Okay. We'll get on that. Thank you for bringing the trash back to your house. We always love people, the community helping, the city with issues like that. But we'll get on that and get that cleared up, okay?
Okay, Evelyn Evans. Ms. Evans. Matthew Hotard.
Before my clock starts, I just wanted to give my condolences not only to Officer Fultz's family, police department, and its friends, but also for Almarella friends and family. I'm Matthew Hotard, District 5, Kenner Firefighter Association President. Today in this room, we have active, retired, and previous members of the Kenner Fire Department that are present. Those working cannot attend, but I wanted to assure you all they're here for a reason. I've spoken multiple occasions, more times than I would like to admit, dating back to the past administration on several issues such as public safety, retention, budget issues, firefighter safety, and the pay issues, just to name a few. The council has met with us on multiple occasions, and for that, I wanted to say thank you. The mayor and his staff have met with us since day one on multiple occasions, and for that, I wanted to say thank you. Before the historic millage approval, or was even brought forth to this council, I had to notify this mayor and our fire chief of a lawsuit we never wanted, but had to be filed, which is a very difficult thing to do. I was told by my fire chief that it was bad timing, and this should have been done after the millage. That would have never, ever happened. At this point, I realize relationships have been splintered, but we have been nothing but open and honest about the state of this department since day one. It is also important to note that since the mayor and this council have been in office, there's been many things pushed forward to help our department, and we are grateful for that. Please understand that today is not directed at any way towards you. As the president, I'm here to notify the mayor's office, council, and citizens of Kenner of the vote of no confidence that was put forward by the Kenner Firefighters Association for Chief Terrence Morris. This is something we do not take lightly, but believe it is necessary for our department to truly move forward and sustain the quality of personnel and care that our citizens are used to. I've got up here and spoken about our retention, which directly affects public safety. Since 2023, we have lost 14 members of the department. 7 or 8 of those are actually suppression. Since 2018, we lost over 25 members of our Kenner Fire Department. This simply is not sustainable. Though now we have no problem, it seems, putting rookie classes in We have put the most rookie classes in the shortest amount of time in the 16 years that I've been here, but yet we are still losing veterans and firefighters that have been employed with the city of Kenner at an alarming rate. I can promise you, the ones that have left are not the end of this unless something changes. I am very well aware that a $13 an hour pay plan is to go into effect January 1. But a large portion of this problem is that we have not been given any sort of pay plan that we can look at and see. This lawsuit was something we never wanted to do. This certainly is something that I never thought I would have to do, but it is a necessity for us to let you know that this is where our association stands and moving forward with the fire department and the safety we can provide for the city. Thank you.
Britton Allsouth, 204 Anna Street, Emma, Louisiana. Just here to support my fellow firefighters. I was asked to speak because I worked here for 7 years. I was very dedicated. A lot of people know me, know how dedicated I was, and I loved working for the city. It was one of the hardest decisions of my life, honestly, to leave, because this is a great place to work. You know, the fire service is a deep thing. It's called being into the job, and I was into it. A lot of these guys are into it. Unless you do this, you really don't understand what that means, and it's a great place to work. You know, you get a lot of variety of emergencies here. The firefighters here are honestly some of the hardest working people I've ever worked with. I travel all around the country. I'm pretty involved in the fire service. I network with a lot of other fire departments, and I'll tell you what, these men and women, y'all are lucky to have them. They're awesome. So anyways, I was forced to leave because of my quality of life and financial reasons. I was working up to 400 hours a month just to make a livable wage. I experienced extreme burnout, which took a toll on my physical and mental health, and I was forced to make the decision to leave. And I truly miss it. I really do. So typically, firefighters leave for 3 reasons. It's going to be pay, it's going to be morale, and it's going to be schedule. That's the average. You have 2 of the 3 problems. You have a morale problem, and you have a pay problem. So this council, the leadership, needs to really take this serious. I see it happen to a lot of fire departments, and you have a severe problem here that needs to be addressed. I'm really just disappointed that the firefighters had to call a vote of no confidence. I thought this city would have already kind of addressed this. It needs to be addressed. Yeah, and basically to sum up, the city needs to finally stop accepting mediocrity and take care of these firemen, because the safety of the citizens and the safety of these firefighters depend on it. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Greg Taft, 5th District. I just got a couple things that I want to bring up. One of them is I want to wish the administration, our elected officials, citizens of Kenner, and all the personnel in Kenner a safe holiday that's coming up for Thanksgiving. And the second thing, though, is I am concerned about the rollback, because what I don't understand is some of the council members here have been here for at least 5-6 years. And if what I heard, and I probably misunderstood it, is that the fire department's pay is basically structured, I guess, by the state. Now, if that's the case, why haven't we, as the council and as the administration, of course, we can't talk about past administrations because they're not here, have done something with the budget that would have given our fire personnel raises sooner. And I'm not talking about the regular 2% that is passed out. I'm talking about where they got a competitive pay. There's a difference between what we pay and then being competitive and allowing good people to stay instead of having to look elsewhere. Now, for years, I've heard how deplorable some of the fire stations are. And again, it's not necessarily reflective of this administration, but the four council people that's been here, I don't know how we didn't maybe step into that arena and look into it ourselves, because you certainly did when you wanted to change the budget. So that is a concerning point to me, too. Now, one of the last things I want to bring up is that the citizens voted to give our fire department competitive pay. Now, if I heard right, the general funds is not really moving that much in the budget. We're now going to pay them with what we just voted on with the millage. Because we're going to use the general fund to build a fire station that was already supposed to be in the works. I take it this suit's been ongoing, so I mean, this administration probably handed it to them, but it's still, I don't understand why we have waited so long to do something. Again, because I brought up many times, we have to have retention. And my time's up. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Thomas Carolino? Okay, Carigliano.
Thomas Corigliano, 10434 Buddy Gore Road, Gonzales, Louisiana. 23 years and 10, 11 months with the Kenner Fire Department as a captain at Station 37. I'm here to thank Matt Hotard for everything he said, the council, for all your past wisdom and watching and looking over and seeing everything that we've done, and the mayor as well, backing us on a lot of things, including the millage increase. I guess what I'm about to say here is just coming out from me personally, but with this administration that we have right now and the firefighters leaving in droves, what's happening with the new employees is we're having a big gap in my eyes, big gap from new employees to senior employees. There's nothing in the middle. You want experience on these scenes, especially scenes that you have emergencies that are, whether it's a working structure fire or even a medical situation. So if we can't correct the problem, I know we have a millage increase, but if we can't correct the problem with the administration fixing the situation, maybe there's a reason we need to change something. And what I'm getting at is, we all know what Matt talked about, you know, from the unions, from the union, what we're looking to do. So I don't do this on a regular basis. I'm just putting my 2 cents in on the situation. And I guess, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but in reality is we have operators that have, in a sense, it took me 11 and a half years to make an operator. It took me another 5 and a half, 6 years to become captain. Now we're having firefighters making an operator in 5 years or less, and then they're about to make captain within 2 or 3 years. They don't have the experience. And as you keep on losing nutrition from senior people retiring and mid-grade people going to other departments, all you're gonna have is rookies in their 10-year being a captain. And that's a hard piece of fat to chew because you don't have experience out there. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of places we need to look, and sometimes it's not just the firefighters. It could be the places that we need to look in other areas upstairs. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in on this. Thank you.
Meeting adjourned.